And after this discharging, you can do then the dismantling, which is here. You see some workers still. We have manual workers there. We provide the manual workbenches, but also the tightening tools, which you can see on the other side of the booth.
I'm Steve Plum, Editor-in-Chief of SME Media, here today with Dr. Andreas Letsch from Bosch. We're at CES in Las Vegas 2026. Bosch has a huge booth focusing on many different technologies, but your area is on smart battery technologies.
Absolutely. So it's about producing the batteries, but it's also about recycling. And we are showing here this year first how battery recycling will look in the future. Because think about all those cars which are running electric on our streets today. There are lots of them, and hopefully they will also last quite long. But think about 12, 15 years to go, they will come back. And there's still a lot of value in the batteries, in respect to the material especially. And we need to recover them. It's not only about the value, but it's also, of course, a question of sustainability. And therefore, we are in the business of recycling since some years now, and we are also working there and did some first proof points. But today, it's mainly a manual work. In the future, if the large amount which you see on today's street will come back, you need to automate it on a very high level. And that's what we first highlight here. How will battery recycling be done like a real factory with our factory automation equipment?
So that's been a concern ever since the EVs and hybrids first started to really hit the market. So what is the solution? How are you working to alleviate that?
Yes, let me just click here and then we can have a look to it. So we are flying now into our virtual recycling campus. And the batteries will come in here from the left side. And first, they have some package, you need to open it. And we are providing all these things which are needed here to move the parts. So Bosch is really having a lot of factory automation equipment. I always say this is the largest in the world, yes, what we have in respect to the portfolio. So every movement which is there can be realized with our products, meaning conveyance, meaning motors, but also getting the bolts out of it because you need to untighten them. So it's about factory automation equipment, which we have, including the controls. So they are coming in, and then you need to diagnose which kind of type of battery is coming in. Is it coming from brand A or brand B? It's a larger one, a hybrid, or a battery electric vehicle. And then, of course, you need to diagnose how large is it, what kind of battery, but also is there already something which is like an accident or something happened to the car, because then you need to take care that it's very hazardous to work with batteries which are coming out of an accident. But let's say you checked it, the battery is okay for the next step, and you want to really scrap it, meaning getting all the materials out of it. Then you need to discharge it. Why? Because if you think about your cell phone, and your cell phone is telling you that it's at state of charge 0, so it's empty, there's still a lot of energy in it. And this is, for example, causing in normal recycling steps today already a lot of issues. Why? If a battery is going to a normal shredding machine because it's just thrown away to the normal waste, then it will ignite in the shredding process. And we also want to do a shredding at the end, but we need to discharge it safely. So we then jump to the discharging station, and there's really a lot of effort which we put in because we are working in the end-of-line testing for the manufacturing of the cars, but also for the discharging now. It's the same technology which we apply there. So we filed a lot of IP around this to make it in the best way. Means if you do it too fast, the battery can catch fire and also cause, of course, a lot of trouble on your factory. If you do it too slow, it will be not economically useful. So therefore, you need to balance it, and you must do it right. And for this, we have the right technology with our sync source system coming out of our electrical portfolio of Bosch Rexroth to do the discharging at the spot at the right way. And we proved this also in our labs, and we can do this. And after this discharging, you can do then the dismantling, which is here. You see some workers still. We have manual workers there. We provide the manual workbenches, but also the tightening tools, which you can see on the other side of the booth.
So where is the industry today and the last few years in terms of how much of the battery is recyclable? How long does it take, and what percentage of it will be in the future?
Today, it's depending really on the chemical part, how much you get out of it. Mm-hmm. So typically 70 to 95% can be recovered out of the battery. And this is already a huge number. And it's also depending about the regulation in which country you are working. So this is also something which is a little bit different if you look to the world. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, from a technical point of view, 95% and above is already a huge number. Mm-hmm. And this shows also how we can contribute to circularity. And our contribution here is really to make it safe and then also take the parts in the right way to separate them and then to really feed them in a clever way into the different sections where all the matching around the chemistry is happening. You asked about today. Today, most of the stuff is done manually. So it's really a worker has a look to the battery, he's inspecting it and say, okay, this is now coming from, let's say, Tesla or whoever, and I know which bolts to take off. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, these are educated people because they need to deal with high voltage. In all countries, normally, you cannot take a normal worker, you need to educate him to do this because otherwise it will not be safe. And therefore, this is also an add-on on the work side and also on your what you need to pay, yeah? And therefore, we see that those steps will be automated in the future, either with robots, classical ones, or cobots, which you also see on our booth. And so that we assist the worker, and it's all about safety, yes? And in the future, the numbers will increase, and step by step, we will really see how this will scale up in different steps, and the economy will grow.
In some cases, are you able to repurpose the batteries in non-automotive applications?
Of course. This is also done. In a lot of cases, you see today that especially the automotive companies are already collaborating with some companies in the power sector to do some power storage for wind or solar. And of course, this also shows that there's a huge benefit in respect to circularity in the batteries, because a lot of guys are complaining still that batteries are not good for the environment. It's definitely not true. If you have a look to what can all be recovered and how to deal with it, it's definitely getting greener and better for our planet.
All right, well, thanks a lot for joining us.